we're week 2 now. Week 1 is come and gone. We're off and rolling. Little football. So, guys, some games turned out probably exactly like we expected. Others were a bit more eye-opening, I would say, in week 1. Whether it was a surprise or not, who impressed you the most in week 1?
Well, even though they lost the game, I thought Robinson did pretty well, especially on defense. And, obviously they got things to work out on the offensive side and just conditioning wise, but I thought they did pretty well. Their special teams was insane. Like, I feel like we don't put as much attention on special teams as we sometimes should. And I think their punter was like driving those balls like
Yeah, to have a good high school football punter is a rare commodity, honestly. And if you have a good one, that can make a big difference.
But the punter is the hardest position in sports to get excited about,
It is, but
it's like, hey, we didn't get a first down, but we got a great punter.
Back when Baylor go ahead.
Yeah, he had University starting at their goal line at one point.
And
they
maybe it makes a difference.
But which says a lot about University, but like it was two drives, it was 2 scoring drives for the Trojans that started basically in their own end zone. And I was just like thinking about my first season covering football full time over at Baylor. Noah Rauschenberg, basically, it was like this meme of like, there's another touchback by Noah Rauschenberg. And I was like, this kid is giving me some Noah Rauschenberg vibes. So
Nice. Special teams can, like I said, it can change the game. Chad, what do you say?
I thought Chilton's 34-0 shutout of Bosqueville was a little bit of an eye-opener. The Pirates have been back to their old school selves for a little while now, and it's kind of fun. I like when they're good for some reason. Now, and let me ask y'all a question. I mean, so you've got Itasca playing a makeup, it was basically a scrimmage because they took the win from the forfeit over Marlin, right?
Right.
But so they go play Connally's JV. So they're going up, they're 2A D1, and they're going up 2 classifications to play a JV team.
Right.
And Connally played 2 JV games that night. And so I think they kind of split their roster up to get everybody playing time.
Yeah, they have 2 different JV teams because they don't have a freshman team.
Yeah, okay. So that's it. Yeah. But I mean, Itasca kind of whipped their butts for the first and second quarters. I mean, they scored on their first 4 possessions, and Connally didn't score until right at the end of the first half. And I tell you, Itasca is kind of the school that I'll just go ahead and admit it, that I'm kind of pulling for this year because they've made progress, and I think there's still some doubters out there about how good they can actually be. But they got, they had a couple of kids get out there and make some big plays, and they've got several that can do that. So I'll have my eye on the Wampus Cats this year.
I always just love saying Wampus Cat. It's my favorite Central Texas mascot. Probably right behind that are the Frost Polar Bears. But and Frost was impressive. I'll mention a couple. I mean, DJ last week said, that Collie Mejia game might be close. Nope. I mean, I'm not calling you out, but Conley, 64 points. I mean, that was pretty freaking impressive. I think the cadets are looking like the real deal. I thought Axtell, it was 34-3 over Moody. I think Moody thinks it's going to be a little bit better than it was last year. So the Longhorns, I think, may be a sleeper team, a team to watch there with Craig Horn as head coach, and some good talent back. And then I don't want to fall into a rut of always talking about like the team that we saw particularly in person last week, but I can tell you Midway is a lot better. What that will mean record-wise, we will see. And they still have some things to clean up, no doubt. Like they were vulnerable to the big play, which they were last year. They gave up 2 touchdowns to Mansfield of 70+ yards. But Ty Brown is the real deal at quarterback, and he makes a big difference. They were leading that game going to the fourth quarter. Mansfield closed it out, ended up winning by 11. There were a couple costly penalties that went against Midway that were a little, like 2 of them that were just like, I didn't see that face mask, and I didn't see that illegal shift where you called the play, you threw the flag like 5 minutes later. I mean, it was a little dicey. Shane
Sounds like the coach talked the ref into that one.
Yeah. So maybe they can get some home cooking this week against Permian.
Well, and they have a huge opportunity there. I was making my picks earlier, and I noticed Permian kind of got thumped in their season opener. That was a game last year that Permian won by double digits against Midway out in Odessa.
But Midway was in that game. Yeah, Midway was in that game. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a huge opportunity for them to get their first, if they could beat Permian. Regardless of how good Permian is, you always got that Permian name. You always got that thing of, hey, we beat Permian, So
yeah, exactly. It's like beating the Yankees, even when the Yankees suck. It's always fun to do.
I'm so upset because the Yankees are playing in Houston on my birthday, but I'm gonna be in Plano for my brother's soccer tournament. So there's no way I'm gonna drive 5 hours down I-45 to go watch that baseball.
I mean, that's a strong commitment to your brother's soccer tournament.
There you go. What a good sister she is.